last week, Pokemon had an event, and me and Nick went to the GameOn Expo. We're going to talk about that live. And you can join us live every Monday at 3:30 Arizona time at twitch.tv/lonercast. And later on every podcast service known to man by searching Last Week in Games. What's up, boyos?
Oh, boyos.
This is Last Week in Games. My name is Jake. That is Nick.
That's my name.
Nick, how are you? How are things?
Things are okay. Things are pretty okay. I went to the Game Awards? I fucking wish we went to the Game Awards. We went to Phoenix, Arizona's own GameOn EXPO.
We did.
So,
It's true. We did do that.
kind of underwhelming,
Oh.
if I'm being honest. But it was fun. I had a good time. It was underwhelming, but that didn't stop me from having a good time. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
Because like there was hardly anything there that I really cared about. But it was fun to hang out with the boy and some girls and just walk around,
Some
be
other
with
boys.
people. Make it really easy for myself to get COVID. I don't think I got it. Feeling fine. So
Yet to be determined, really.
it was a risk and I took it, and it was worth the risk, I think. So
Yeah.
there you go. How are you doing, Jake?
I'm good. I also went to GameOn Expo, but before
You did.
I get to that, okay, last week I
Mhm.
talked about a dog, right? I talked about this
Yeah.
dog.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I haven't heard an update from this.
Okay, we took the dog back. Sweet,
Aw.
sweet Plum. She was so sweet. And
And they killed her right on the spot.
no. So I'm like, I need my sister, who's also my roommate, right? Like, because we live in
Mhm.
Arizona, everything's expensive as fuck. So, I was like, I need a moment before I go look at another dog. That was traumatizing for me.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I got like attached to this dog. Of course, she went out of town for the week, and I had to keep this dog for a week. Got attached to it, had to bring it back, and it was traumatizing. If you don't know the story, go listen to last week's show. It was traumatizing. So I'm like, I just need a minute before I get myself a dog. She goes today, and she's like, I'm getting a dog, Jake. So yeah, that's the update.
All right.
Now my sister's
Wow.
getting a dog, and I'm just not gonna get one.
Have you seen the dog?
Yeah, she's getting a fucking puppy. I'm like, okay.
A puppy? Oh no.
Oh yeah, I'm like, it's your dog though. I'm not
What kind of dog?
too big of a dog, but it's not.
Um.
I'm not. It's her life, I'm like, just keep it out of my room. So that's what happened. Just a roller coaster of
Wow.
emotions.
And you've completely swung the other way. You're like, I can't wait to get a dog, and you got yourself a dog, and then she's like, you know what, I'm getting a dog, and you're like, I don't want a dog.
Well, I told my sister, because she's like, oh, Jake, we could split a dog, and I'm like, no. We need to set boundaries. Like,
Yeah.
there needs to be boundaries here. Like, if I get a dog, it's my dog. If you get a dog, it's your. Like, it has to be that way, because probably
Nobody's gonna take care of a dog if both of you.
I don't even think that's the issue. I think the issue would come in a year when one of us decides to move elsewhere, and we're like, well, who takes the dog?
Right. Yeah.
And that's the issue. And so yeah, I'm like, yeah, just, and we can't get two dogs here. Like, we don't have that much room. So I don't even think we have enough room for the kind of dog she got. But anyway, that's the update on dogs.
Wow.
Probably an overshare, but whatever.
Hey, it's fine.
But GameOn Expo, on the other hand, I didn't feel. I wouldn't say I felt underwhelmed. I would say I felt perfectly whelmed.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I thought it was good times. I was also thinking, this was the first time either of us have gone to Game On Expo, right? Like you never gone
Yes,
before.
I've never been before.
So I don't know what it was like in the before times, but I was thinking like, this is the first Game On Expo since the old COVID. They've been gone for 2 years. It's probably a lesser attendance than usual.
Yeah,
So my whole thought process was like, hey, this is pretty good for a first con back. There were plenty of people there. Everyone was having a good time. I feel like everyone was like on a similar wavelength where we're just here to have a good time. 3 days is probably too much for a con like that, but like, um, I didn't mind it being 3 days because it just lets you kind of take it at your own speed, which
yeah.
I do appreciate. Because every time we go to like Phoenix Comic Con, or it's called Phoenix Fan Fusion now, or Phoenix Fan whatever the fuck it's called, um, but Phoenix Comic Con, it always feels like you're rushing to get shit done.
That
At
is true.
at the end, and you're like, I gotta go do this. I gotta get to this panel. This didn't feel like that
Hmm.
at all. Where we literally like sat down and we're like, we're gonna play this blockbuster game for like 2 hours, just
Yeah,
cause. Where it was like a
just
movie
cause.
trivia game, and that's how it's set up too. Where it's like we have tables here, so if you have your D&D crew, come play D&D, just surrounded by other nerds. Um,
Although I would absolutely hate playing D&D in a space like that.
yeah, I think the
I,
idea is more just to like get new friends. Like, hey, you want to
yeah,
play D&D with us? We need another person.
yeah.
I think
Hmm.
that's more the idea. Um, but I liked that aspect of it. The one thing that I was thinking the whole time, though, Nick, and I told you this several times, they had
Yeah.
a tourney thing going on, a tournament setup, and Evo did happen over the weekend. So
Yes.
no hate to Evo. Okay, I don't really know how Evo is set up. I don't know the logistics of Evo. What I do know was that the tournament system at this event was an absolute clusterfuck. Which, yeah, this is just like a fun game con, but like I competed in a Dragon Ball Fighters tournament. You had to pay money to get into it. Um, so you'd think they would at least take it with a little bit of like sincerity and seriousness,
Hmm.
and like the winner got, the money or whatever. But what ended up happening was during that tournament, they didn't have enough people to like run this tournament. It was too disorganized, so they got one of the competitors of the tournament to run the tournament. And I was like,
Oh my God.
bruh, like if you're going to set up a tournament system like this, and I get it, like you can't afford to like hire people, but if you're gonna run a tournament system like this, you need to have like, okay, you are doing this tournament, you're doing this tournament, and you're doing this tournament, because they had a Smash tournament, a Mario Kart tournament, a Dragon Ball Fighters tournament, and a Multiverses tournament, I think, were the
Okay.
tournaments. Um, if you do that, you need to have like certain people specifically for each one of those tournaments, or don't have the tournaments. That's
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. And Yeah, it was just kind of frustrating because I was thinking the whole time this could be such a fun activity, that everyone could get into, but no
If
one.
it wasn't such a
Every
clusterfuck.
like con I've gone to, it's always such a clusterfuck, and every like story I've seen online, it's like these esport things are never taken seriously unless it's Evo. Like it's always just Evo, and then everything else is a clusterfuck. I just
Yeah.
don't understand why. It doesn't seem like it'd be, and
It's not that hard,
I'm
right?
not. I'm talking out my ass because I've never had to try and do this. But you think like, okay, cutoff time to sign up is 10 o'clock, and then from 10 to 12, they're setting up the brackets, and then you just write down the brackets on the stations,
Oh yeah.
and then you do it that way instead of like frantically trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Also, like I went up to the booth to go sign up both days, and I just stood there staring at the person sitting at the table. They just stood. They were like on their computer doing stuff, and I was like, hello, hello, and she's like, oh, do you need something? Like, yeah, I want to sign up for the fucking tournament. And
Yeah.
like there was no sign to be like this is where you sign up. Like
Mm-hmm.
what do you, of course, and like on Sunday there wasn't like really enough people for the Mario Kart tournament because of course you didn't have like a sign like hey sign up
Yeah.
here. Yeah, maybe a sheet of paper for people to
It
just
was
write in,
it was
like
just so fucking lax.
yeah, which I get it. This is a con that's like not about the tournaments, but like a big part of this con was the tournaments over in the corner. Like
Which kind of sucked for it,
it
you know?
it took up half the space. Um yeah, it sucked, but like it was my favorite part of the con because I liked being over there and like watching
Right.
people
Well, yeah.
play and
It,
like
it was a big part. But what I'm saying is like it was so small that it was like it sucks that the tournaments were so handled so poorly, yet it was like a third of
right.
what the whole thing was. And I was like, and there was just not a whole lot of stuff to do, I guess.
Yeah, it
There
was
was only
literally
four.
yeah, compete in the tournament
There's
or whatever.
only four fucking panel rooms and not enough panels to actually like fill out these rooms at all. I don't even think anybody went to the panels. Um, then and there was like
We
hardly
we need to do a
any
panel next year, bro.
like games to play, like pinball or like arcade games. Like nobody brought anything in, and it was very disappointing because I feel like I could have spent $15 and went to like Starfighters or a local,
Yeah.
arcade place and played more unique games than I did here. And a lot of the problems were like a bunch of machines were just broken. Like people just destroyed these machines somehow. And
Well, because no one
and,
was
and that was
over
on
there. No
and that
one.
was on Friday too. Like
Yeah, no one was over
the
there because they had a whole pinball section, and one of the machines got like unplugged somehow, and no one noticed for like an hour and a half. And it's like, how do you not have one of your staff
yeah.
over here just hanging out with the
Or
machines to make sure
yeah,
people aren't fucking with them?
or the person that brought it in, like
That's
the
what no,
company.
that's what I'm
Yeah,
talking about. I'm not talking
the
about the
company
con
that brought it
itself.
on just watch.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It was just a mess. It really was.
yeah. The con itself like was fine. It was set up fine. It wasn't like a clusterfuck or anything. Like the security was fine.
Oh, security was great actually.
Getting your badges was super simple and like it
Mm-hmm.
like nothing like that. None of the overall like con stuff was bad. It was just like some of the uh the people who like buy
Vendors.
out space. Yeah,
Yeah, the
it's just
vendors. Yeah.
and like most of the vendors, right? Because that's what a con is really. It's just a giant swap meet for
Mm-hmm.
specialized stuff. A
Yeah.
lot of the vendors, well, there were like a lot of retro gaming vendors and like classic gaming stuff. Um, a lot of the vendors was anime shit, and it's like
And
this isn't an anime con. Nothing against it. I think there should be anime, but it felt like it
mhm.
was more anime than video games.
Yeah, and that was like the second thing that irked me. Other aside from the fact that like there was no interesting games, like no games from Japan came over, no like bootleg guy came over and went,
Right.
I brought this. I'm not supposed to have this, but I brought it just because it's fun and like it's there was none of that. There was no pachinko. There was like the standard games and I was like, okay, I can literally go anywhere and play these games.
Right.
But then the second thing was that the vendors. I was so disappointed at all the vendors. It was like, oh, look at my anime stickers, and it's like, it's not games. Like cool, right? But this is a gaming convention where
Yeah.
like there's
Because
you
we're both
shouldn't have
anime fans. You more
yeah
than me,
like
but like, yeah. It's not
there
that we
shouldn't be
dislike
like
anime. It's yeah.
there shouldn't be that much anime stuff. Like sure, granted, a couple here and there, just because hey, I made this painting of Sonic, but also I have other paintings of anime people, and it's like it was all just like, look at all this anime shit and no video game stuff. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, there was like one guy selling keyboards. That was it. I didn't see anybody like selling controllers of like any sort of interesting variety. It was just like, oh, here's classic controllers. Here's
Yeah, that would have been
uh
so cool. Like, hey, I take controllers and I paint them or whatever. Like,
you
yeah.
paint them, or here's modded controllers. There's none of that. There's just zero of any of that. There was no like mouse pad guys. There were some booths of anime things selling mouse pads, but it was like anime stuff, and it's like it's fine, but this is supposed to be like a gaming thing. Like we're supposed to get like really cool, shit we've never seen before, art that's based off of games. There was hardly any of that, and it was really disappointing.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and then like the other, side of Game On, which makes sense because it's called Game On, was like, board games and Magic the Gather, that kind of gaming as well. That's gaming in a
mhm.
different sense, but yeah, that belongs at this. It felt like it was really pushed into a corner, and it was like a very small.
It was also very, very
there
small.
there were like 5 vendors that were that. There were some people in the main vendor that were like selling dice and stuff, but like
Mm,
I would have liked more of that shit too.
yeah,
So I don't know. If you're running Game On Expo, whoever the fuck you are, give me a nick and call. We would love a job. We could help you. I
we'll
think
help you.
we could be ambassadors. Well, we actually don't know the logistics or anything, so like we don't actually know anything. But
It would take us. It would take us a minute, but we could figure it
you
out.
could create a new position for us. Call it the Vibe Police, because I think we'd be good Vibe Police. We could keep the vibe alive.
We'll get outfits to keep the vibe up, but it'll be on your dollar,
Yeah.
through the company. We'll buy ourselves outfits, and we'll be the vibe police for you. Make sure everything's vibing the way you want,
uh, I,
the
I
way
I
we want.
I have some ideas for panels. I think we should do some panels next year, Nick, because
Okay.
yeah, the
Yeah.
panels were lacking.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
here, first of all, main panel would be this show live. Okay, that's the first panel.
I hate it.
It's
I
a
hate it.
it's an easy idea though. It's
I
just
hate
super
it.
easy. We just do this live.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
super easy. Other panel idea I have, and shoot out some panel ideas if you have a panel idea. Now here's a crazy panel idea. Okay, why letting lawbreakers die was a bad idea. Okay,
Mm,
that's panel idea number one.
okay.
How do you feel about this?
Fine.
No,
I don't know why. I have no reason why it would be a bad idea. I just kind of like feel that it was a missed opportunity of a game, and that Overwatch should have been the one to drown rather than Lawbreakers.
I
But
think they.
that's kind of my own personal opinion, honestly.
Well, I mean
So
that's the whole idea of the panel. Yeah.
right. I don't really have a reason why it would be better. The world would be better if Lawbreakers stayed around like that.
Here's my thought on
Uh-huh.
why I think the world would be better
Okay.
if lawbreakers existed, and maybe I should
Hmm.
save it for the panel next year.
Maybe.
But
I mean,
like,
here's a sneak peek. Here's a sneak preview.
here's a sneak preview because you'll forget by next year.
Yeah, I'll forget
The
for
one
sure.
person who's watching, uh, lawbreakers would have been good competition against Overwatch. I don't want either game to die. I want Overwatch and lawbreakers to both exist, and we could now have a world where these two are competing against each other, forcing each other to like be unique and fun. Where now we live in a world where there is only Overwatch as the hero shooter. What's another hero shooter? I can't think of one.
I
Um,
can't.
that's like the last one to remain. And instead of them like being forced into trying to figure out some sort of new model by lawbreakers, because lawbreakers showed up, now they're just going the route of everyone else, where it's like, oh, we're just gonna do a season pass and
Yeah,
Bob's your uncle. That's my thought on the lawbreakers.
and that's fair.
Yeah, I think
Panel over.
yeah, but then you lengthen it out. You get
Yeah,
you,
yeah, 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 yeah. You just kind of bullshit for
you're
an
like,
hour.
here's why I like this character design. Look at this, this is why I like this gameplay. You
Oh,
could
Justin Roiland was the ball.
yeah.
No, fun fact.
We love Justin Roiland, and he's the ball. Yeah. Cliff Blazinski, I don't like him actually.
Cliffy B. He
It's all falling
made
apart.
some really bad decisions.
um, yeah, I don't know. Do you have any ideas for panels? I should have
Not
let.
off the top of my head. I mean, you kind of just sprung this on me.
I know. I
guess.
should have told you about. I didn't know I was going to do this either.
I
I
see.
think this would have been a fun little
I
topic.
like conventions. At conventions, I like when there's like interaction.
Yeah.
So even if it's just us, if we just get up there and like play a video game and just kind of talk about it or something, I don't know. I like when there's something to look at other than just people talking to you about things. Because like we went to a panel and it was like the Witcher panel. And these guys were just like, well, The Witcher and my speculation and blah 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 and blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't really care. And I almost left until, the Yaskier guy came in singing full with his full heart out to a room of like 3 people. And I was like, okay, well, this is a little more interesting. And I guess he was like
I hated that.
an entertainer at a Renaissance. Well, that puts you on the spot because we're literally in a room of 3 people.
No,
You know?
I didn't hate it because of him. Specifically. Oh no.
Okay.
How do I phrase this? I
I don't know.
liked the conversation beforehand where it was just them talking about the topic. I love doing that shit.
Okay.
Maybe not about The Witcher because I don't play The Witcher, I don't watch The Witcher, I don't know anything about The Witcher, so I didn't really like that panel to begin with. But like,
Right.
if that panel was going on and it was superhero stuff, like
Right.
that's my bread and
And
butter.
then somebody came in and went, blah.
Yeah, it's
Here,
like no,
yeah.
I'm
No,
more,
yeah. I get
I'm
you.
more interested in the conversation that's taking place.
Than to be entertained.
Yeah, like if some dude dressed up as Loki came in and started singing to me, I might be a little weird.
Yeah.
But to each their own. That's not
To each
my
their own.
style. See, this is why me and you work together because we're so opposite.
We're so opposite.
Yeah,
But we opposites attract, man.
yes,
Just like that song.
yeah. Just the
So
two of us. That song.
no, when opposites
yeah.
attract, that song,
Let's get down to biz. Oh,
Sure, yeah,
that's a
that's the
different
one. Yeah, that song's about sex.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. It was fun though. The main thing with Game On Expo was I just enjoyed being at a con. That didn't feel like dangerous or anything. Like I just liked being at a con.
Yeah.
I just like being surrounded. It's like when you go to a space like that with like-minded people, there's just like an energy.
yeah, I agree.
And like when you go to a Comic-Con, even if there's nothing really to do, there's just like this energy that's just like, I'm happy to be surrounded by these people.
And it was a good weekend to do it because it was so freaking hot this weekend.
Actually, wasn't
and it was
too
a good
bad.
place it was a good time to cool off. Like I had plans to like redo the room and like build shelves and stuff, and I'm like, well, I can't do that because I'm gonna be at con all day, all weekend. So I pushed that off. I'm like, it's 103 out. I'm glad I wasn't outside, building shit. So it helps. It's something to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do I go to a panel I have zero interest in? Because Nick really loves
Because
The Witcher.
yeah.
I was
Mm-hmm.
hanging with Nick. That is why I went to that panel.
And because what else are you gonna do?
It's a totally fair question. Yeah.
Yeah, we got there. I got there late, and Jake had already been walking around.
Yeah,
the
I had
whole
been there.
floor,
Yeah.
so he was like, "I'm just kind of following because I've pretty much seen everything." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Well, there's a Witcher panel," and we went to it. So I'm like, maybe Jake, it'll change Jake's mind. And I think I had him. I think the guys had him until the entertainment came in and
Yeah.
started singing directly at Jake.
Yeah, that toss a
making him
coin
feel
to your
uncomfortable.
Witcher thing just it's not it. So yeah, that's why I went to that panel. I wish I went to more panels because like The Witcher is awesome. I've heard that a million times, and I played with The Witcher 3 for like 5 hours, and I was like, this ain't it, Chief. But
He didn't even get out of Whiterun.
see, if it takes longer than 5 hours to get into a game, I'm sorry. It's like
You didn't even get out of Whiterun though.
it's like you're watching a show and they're like, you just have to finish the first 4 seasons.
Oh God, I hate that. I hate that. I tried to do that with Game of Thrones, and I finished the first season. I'm like, this show sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, it doesn't suck, but it just wasn't my jam. And I was like, nah, I don't need to see any more of it.
Yep. I did the same thing with that show. The only show I will fight to my grave that show is like that is Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec is fantastic.
Yeah, just get past that first season and you're good. You're golden.
You can almost skip the
You could
first
skip
season.
the first season. The only thing you really need to know from that season is
Andy fell into a hole.
And Andy dated what's her butt?
Yeah.
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 Rashida Jones's character. Yeah. That's it though.
Anne?
Anne.
Anne. It's
Anne.
Anne.
Yeah. Quincy Jones's daughter. Yeah.
Yes.
Um. Yeah. But I do plan when the Witcher PS5 upgrade comes out, or if it comes to like a PC upgrade, I guess.
It is, yeah.
Uh, is the PC upgrade already out or no?
No, no. Well, I mean, technically, you can get it in 60 frames, but
They're
also
gonna release.
there's like DLC and stuff that's coming with it. So
So
I'd wait for that.
when that comes out, I'll either get it on PS5 or PC, and I'll play through it. I'll give it another chance, Maury. Okay, okay, okay. Are you okay with
Okay,
that?
I'm fine with it.
Anyway, let's fucking move on. Have you played anything? Did you play anything?
I did. Well, at Game On, I played a couple of things. Pinball,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mario Kart. We played the new Mario Kart maps on the smallest
We
fucking
did.
Switch screen ever
That was fun.
while
I
watching a Tetris
I didn't
championship.
even mention that was the most well run tournament. Was the Tetris tournament? That is because they are well crafted. Like they know what they're doing. They got their system and they got it down. Although I will say there was like the guy who runs it all. He kept walking on the stage, which was very annoying. It's like, dude, just get off the stage. You know, you're blocking the
Yeah,
screen. Just get off the stage.
yeah,
That was kind of annoying, but Tetris was very good. But yeah, we did play the Mario Kart maps.
yeah. We did that.
Sorry to cut you off.
And then yesterday, last night, I downloaded Tony Hawk Pro
Oh,
Skater
I'll have to download
1
that
and
tonight.
2. Um, okay, don't tell my fiance, but I don't like that game.
Yeah,
I
I knew it was coming.
coming from Skate.
Yeah,
I'm a skate boy. Coming from Skate, it makes no goddamn sense to me. You have to press up down to do a manual. You have to hold triangle to grab the edge. You have to like it's X to jump, but also you have to like flick the stick and press square in order to do any sort of tricks. It's like, no, man, just move the stick. They got it right. You just flick the
well,
stick
you
in
have to
whatever
remember
direction.
this was a PS1 game. There was no stick.
No, yeah, I understand. I
Yeah,
mean, there was. You're right. There wasn't a stick,
there was no
but
stick.
I don't know. I don't know why. I know why they remade it. It's just not a game for me. I, it makes me really upset because everybody's like, "Oh, this game's so great. This game's so great. This game is dated as fuck. It's so dated. I feel like I'm confused the whole time. I don't have enough time to push any buttons. It's like fighting. It's like a fighting game, but on a skateboard.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Um,
And you don't
and
like fighting games,
I
so
just don't like memorizing combos.
yeah,
Like I feel like it's not about just because when I play Skate 2, Skate 3, I didn't play this first one. When I played Skate, it was just I'm gonna cruise and just whatever I run into, I'm gonna just grind on that, go down this hill, freaking do all these things, play in a tournament. It was chill. It's like how skating should be. I just felt mellow, felt relaxed. It was just like a day out on a nice fucking fall evening. Cold breeze in my hair as I'm skitching down
sketch.
this skitch. Well, skitching's like when you grab onto a car, but Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 is so fucking stressful. And there's no storyline, there's no nothing. It's just, hey, collect skate and,
Yeah,
go to these points and get to these points. And I have no incentive to do that. It's just like, yeah, cool, picked up the numbers, letters, and I don't care. It's so hard for me to care about a
more
number on points,
more
which is another reason why I'm like,
in the chat. They're like, "Yo, bro, it's 24-year-old game.
yeah,
Give it some
okay,
slack, bro."
all right, yeah, I'm giving it some slack.
Are you?
I just don't like it. I don't
No, that's
like it.
fair.
It's dated and old, and I don't like it.
See, I always grew up
Um,
with Tony Hawk. So like I always liked Tony Hawk. Pressing X to me to jump made sense cuz here's the thing about Tony Hawk versus Skate, where I think Skate was really going for the skater aesthetic and like the vibe of actually skating, where
mhm.
Tony Hawk was like, this is a video game about skating.
It's yeah.
You know, it still
Yeah,
has the
I
vibe of
get that.
skating and the aesthetic, but like this is a video game. This is more of a simulation.
A simulation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. It's like we took skating and put it in an arcade
Yeah.
where skates like we took video games and moved it outside. Yeah, I
Yeah.
get that. More
Well, like
organic.
skate is like it's like the farming simulator of
I don't like
skateboarding
that. I
games.
don't like that
And
comparison.
Tony Hawk is like the Stardew Valley of video game of skateboarding games. It's
Okay.
more gamey, I guess.
Okay. Sure. Sure.
It's also like 15 years older than skate.
Yeah,
So
but I do have to say the music still slaps.
yeah,
Even with this new stuff, the music is really fucking
yeah.
good. So
I love that they put MGK in there. I'm just kidding. I don't know if they actually did or not.
I have no
I'm
idea.
totally
I have
just.
no. I mean, I played for like 2 hours,
I
so
have no idea.
I probably didn't get to the whole set list.
Yeah.
Anything you've been playing?
Uh.
Did you make it to play anything? You played Tetris.
Yeah.
You
At the.
played Dragon Ball Fighters.
Yeah.
You played Mario Kart.
I competed in a Dragon Ball Fighters tournament, which was very funny because I beat the first guy that I went up against, and I'm not very good at Dragon Ball Fighters. I just did it because I was like, I'm at this con, let's do something. It's $10 to enter. I beat the first guy I was up against, which was great. I was like, oh, look at that, I'm in. And then I went up against a guy that was dressed like Gogeta, and I'm like, oh no, oh no. And I played him, and after I played him, he said, all right, man. Well, I gotta actually play a tournament match now. And I'm like, dude, I think I was your tournament match. And he's like, oh, I didn't even realize you were in the tournament.
Oh
Like
my
that's
god.
how bad I was. So yeah, that was my experience with the Dragon Ball Fighters. I'll never forget it.
You should have just went, yeah, okay, you should go do that and then played him again because then you knew all
We
of his
did do
moves,
that
right?
actually because
Oh, okay.
we actually sat down. He's like, well, we're supposed to play at this. You want to play anyway? Because he was just chill. He's just like, yeah, well,
He's just a chill. Yeah.
he's like, I need to work on my combos anyway. Like, I'll just kill you again. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. That was fun. I also competed in a Mario Kart tournament. Came in third. That was very fun. Had a good time. But that was
Oh,
very
yeah.
disorganized as well.
Oh, that was so disorganized.
The guy who was running that one was also competing in the Smash Brothers Ultimate. So like he was just up on the stage playing Smash Brothers, and we're like, I guess we just wait for him to be done.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah. But I came in third. It was fun. And then the people who went after me, like I watched their game and they were doing things I didn't know you could do in Mario Kart. So that was very interesting.
Nice.
I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
you could just like go over the grass and there's a ramp there. I'm like, whoa, I had no idea. Yeah. So that was the fun stuff I did at GameOn EXPO.
Cool.
But yeah, I haven't played anything else really over the past week. Anyway, let's actually get into the show. We have some stuff here. Not a lot of stuff, but there is some stuff. And I'm breaking my computer. Hold on one sec. Okay, we're back. Let's get to the titties. Here's some titties. Speaking of conventions, the Evo convention, which is like the fighting game tournament convention, happened over the weekend, and I don't have any results or anything from that because I don't care. But there was some news stories that came out of that. First and foremost, Dragon Ball Fighters Xbox Series X and S and PS5 versions are confirmed, and they will have rollback netcode, which is something that people have been complaining about Dragon Ball Fighters forever, is that the netcode is just complete ass. So
it is.
they're fixing the netcode, which is great. It also shows that they realize Fighters is a important brand and that they want to continue to support it. It almost makes me wonder if they have plans, maybe not to even expand this game, but to make like another game like it.
Yeah, I would love to see more characters. If more characters minimum, right, in Dragon Ball Fighters, but also just like give me like Shonen Jump fighters. You know, give me like Bleach characters, Naruto characters, Inuyasha
And
characters,
Dragon Ball
like
characters, yeah.
just put them all in there.
Inuyasha.
I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, put all of the fucking characters in there
My
that
Hero,
look cool.
yeah.
My Hero, yeah, all these fucking things. You got Demon Slayer, whatever, Hunter x Hunter. Just put all that shit in one game, and have it in the style of Dragon Ball Fighters.
Yeah,
That would be so sick.
that would be so
It would
sick
be
because
really cool. They tried to do that with another game
Jump
and they
Force.
made it 3D Jump Force. Yeah, they made it 3D and it was real bad. They had Yu-Gi-Oh and shit like that. I'm like, that would be so cool
Yeah, and they
in
had
this
Goku and
style.
stuff. Totally,
Yeah.
I'm so with you, dude. If they go to who is it? Arc, whatever. The guys who made Dragon Ball Fighters, and they're like,
Arc System
yeah,
Works.
yeah, yeah. I think that's it. If they're like, hey, make Dragon Ball Fighters, but throw fucking Luffy in there, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
that'd be so fucking sick.
It
I'm
would be
totally with you.
so good. It would be so good.
And then
And they could continue. They could be like a fucking games as service and they could continue to get money. And it's just like, I mean, maybe not like a battle pass sort of thing, but just constantly, have guys come out.
yeah, just do it
And
like you did with Dragon Ball Fighters,
yeah.
but with other shonen characters. Yeah, I
Hmm.
love the idea.
Yeah. That would be that's like my dream fighting game. Is just take all the anime and have like a roster of 3,000 and
Yeah.
just fucking,
Well, it could be like Smash Bros. Ultimate, you know? Like you could just
yeah.
have so many characters in this thing,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Fantastic. Hit us up.
Yeah.
Arc System
Yeah,
Works.
well, we were hire us
I
as
mean,
vibe police.
they work on so many other things. I think they worked on the Jump Force thing. They worked on the
Yeah.
Kill la Kill game. They worked on a whole bunch of stuff, but none of those are very good.
Nothing's
If
hit
they
like
just kind of
Dragon
like,
Ball. Yeah.
yeah, if they just kind of like, well, Dragon Ball Fighters worked. Let's just make a fighters game, like based on that
Yeah.
through whatever,
Well, I think the
And I
guys who
think,
made Fighters do Guilty Gear as well.
well, that too. Yeah.
That's a very
So
popular game. So,
you have two teams. You have Guilty Gear team and you got
yeah.
Fighters team.
Yeah,
I
totally.
would love that. I would love that.
And then yeah, just call it Fighters so you have that call back
Or
to
like
Dragon
Ultimate
Ball.
Fighters. Yeah.
So it's still like mainly Dragon Ball characters, but like you have other characters in there too. Like you can just literally move all the Dragon Ball characters into this
Yeah.
game already, and then just
Yep.
throw other characters in.
Yeah. You have your roster already,
Yeah,
and then just add more.
yeah, it's a fucking great idea. It's money. It is
See,
money.
I think the biggest problem with it is the what would be the biggest problem is balancing. I think that would be
I
the
mean,
biggest
that's
problem.
always been hard for Dragon Ball Fighters anyway. But like you could do it like
Yeah.
with like Luffy, right? Like we already have Piccolo with the stretchy arms. Just like
Yeah.
develop off of that a little bit and like.
Mm-hmm.
But that is the fun thing about Dragon Ball Fighters is like it's a fighting game that they play at Evo, but it's also not so fucking serious that like I can't just have like a friend who doesn't play fighting games play this game. That's what I love
Right.
about Fighters.
Mm-hmm.
And like, yeah, just make it shonen.
Yeah.
And if there's
And just-
balancing issues, Evo won't have it at its thing. That's fine. I don't
Yeah.
care. Just fucking release the game. It sounds fun. Who cares?
Or just ban characters.
Yeah.
You can ban characters. You just be like, okay, don't pick this character, and then
Yeah, the
yeah.
tournaments, yeah. Anyway, another piece of news at Evo, a new Tekken game was teased. All it was pixelated. What's the main dude? The one that's in Smash Bros. What's his name?
What are we talking about?
Tekken.
Tekken? Oh,
Something.
Kazuya.
Yeah, Kazuya. Yeah, it was
Yes.
pixelated Kazuya, and then it zoomed in on his face, and it went all high def, and then he smiled at the camera, and then it just said soon. That was it.
Great. Cool.
That is what they
Cool,
showed.
cool.
So probably next year we'll get a new Tekken game.
It's too bad I'm not into Tekken anymore.
Maybe this is the time. Let's do it,
Maybe.
dude. Me and you. We'll fucking get super
I
good.
mean, if Dragon Ball Fighters Rollback Netcode comes out, I'm definitely going to be in that. So it's going to be hard. It's going to be a hard, swap.
Yeah, Tekken's a totally different game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then the last titty here, this has nothing to do with Evo. But there's a live action Pac-Man movie in the works.
Wasn't there already? Wasn't Pixel a live action?
No, Pac-Man just shows up in that movie.
So hold on. you're telling me that Chris Pratt is going to be running around in a yellow uniform, gobbling up little dots, and some ghosts are going to attack him? I don't know how you make Pac-Man a movie.
Well, here's the interesting thing. Sonic the Hedgehog movie producer Chuck Williams came up with an original idea for the Pac-Man film. So it's going to be by the same guys who did the Sonic movie. So like what is a pet
Are
is
we going to get like a Nintendo verse, or whatever a
a,
Sega verse?
a video game like MCU?
That would be fucking weird, dude. What if we get Smash Bros the movie and we get like Nathan Drake and
How do you make Pac-Man live action?
that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Do you make it an actual
You
guy?
make him like a cute little animated thing and everybody around him is
Or do you just
yeah.
like go off the original concept of the game, which was like it was supposed to be like a top down and that's like his head.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
like picking things up was the original concept.
Right.
So
And
maybe
he's
you
just
just
got a
do that.
yellow
It's
head.
just like a guy who
Picking things up.
he's
A
like
trash man.
he's a delivery guy and then ghosts start chasing him. I don't know.
I don't know.
Sounds stupid.
It does sound stupid. Pac-Man is kind of stupid. I love the game, but
It's a
like
fun
the
game.
idea of like the
You can't turn
your
him into
man,
an
your
IP.
man picking up dots and ghosts start chasing you. But if you pick up a bigger dot, then you can chase the ghosts. It's strange.
Maury says, I thought fighting games are dying. I don't know where you got that impression.
I don't think fighting games are dying.
I don't know where you got
I
that
don't.
impression.
We just got
No hate, but like, what?
yeah.
Yeah.
No, we got freaking multiverses that just came out or whatever it's called.
Yeah, people are
And that's
loving that. Yeah.
people like that, and I don't know.
And the Nickelodeon one, too.
The Nickelodeon one, like
Yeah.
Smash Bros. Fighting games are definitely not dying.
They're on the
And then
rise.
we got Guilty Gear Strive, which is doing great right now. Freaking here's another
Skullgirls?
titty. Here's another titty. Skullgirls is just announced another playable character, Marie, who I believe was the boss in the first. So now you can play as the initial boss. So they're doing fine too.
Yeah. And
I don't know.
you know, they just announced a new Street Fighter.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. New Tekken just announced. Yeah, dude. I think fighting games are bigger and better than ever. Now's the time to get into them, I think.
Yeah, probably.
I'm so bad at them though, dude. Like that's the only reason I don't play, because like I like
It's
playing.
homework.
Yeah,
It's fucking homework.
that's the problem. Is like I think if I had a lot of time, I would do it.
Mhm.
More
Yeah.
sweet. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Sweet. Sweet.
Sweet. Anyway, yeah, I wish I was into fighting games more, but it is like homework.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then
You watch other people, and then you figure out what buttons combos there are, and then you just try to fucking nail them and put them into muscle memory. And
yeah, that is why I like
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Fighters, because it was like you could just do auto combos if you want.
you could just like mash,
Yeah, and
you
then
know, and still do pretty good.
you
Just a
can
basic
start
concept.
you can start building on top of that, which
Yeah.
was always more fun. Because with like Tekken, unless you're button mashing, like it just feels bad. You just feel
Yeah.
bad, you know.
Okay, Street Fighter. That's the one where you have to know
Yeah.
your combos, and you have to know your spacing, and you have to know your iframes. And it's just like I'd rather not, because the movement in Street Fighter is so small. It doesn't feel like, because in fighters you get like the zooms, and you can cover a lot of ground, and it's very fast. Street Fighter is a very pokey game where you're kind of it's mind games mostly. So anyway,
Killer Instinct is supreme though. Yeah. Okay.
oh well, sure.
Yeah.
I
don't think I've ever.
one. I think I played one game and I don't remember it. So
Yeah, I don't think I ever played Killer Instinct, but I'll take your word for it. Maybe I should download it right now. Let's end the show. Let's play Killer Instinct.
yeah, stream Killer Instinct.
Yeah. Just kidding. Let's move on. There was an event over the last week, Nick. It's a big event.
There sure was. It was a pretty good event. I liked it.
It was okay. There was a Pokemon Presents
Yes.
Before I break it down, which I'm not really gonna break it down, but we'll talk about some things.
Well,
Uh,
yeah, we'll jump
what
around.
did you think of this Pokemon Presents?
To be honest, I skipped to the end.
Aha.
But I have since rewatched it.
Okay.
Um, and I love the love for the tabletop that they
Mm,
had at
mm.
the beginning. I really love the love for the card game.
Yeah.
I don't play the card game, but I like that they're like, hey, here's the first thing, the card game, the trading
Well,
card
the
game.
cards are like bigger
It's
than
gonna be
ever
the
right now.
championship's gonna be in London. Yeah. And I'm like, that's really cool. That is really cool.
Don't you wish?
Pokemon's in a really good spot right now.
Don't you wish it was Magic though?
No.
Uh,
What, Pokemon? Don't I wish Pokemon was Magic? Or
like
Magic was
the card
bigger?
game got the same love the Pokemon card game does. You know?
Pokemon are cute.
Yeah.
Magic is
Not
for
cute.
nerds,
Yeah.
you know? Pokemon's for
Yeah.
everybody. Man, I have a love-hate relationship with Magic, and I feel like if I played Pokemon the trading card game, I would also have a love-hate relationship with Pokemon.
Magic seems more
Um,
balanced than the Pokemon card game though.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
Takes itself more seriously at
it
least.
takes itself more seriously. Although Pokemon players, champions will fucking fight you for that shit because they I don't know. They spend like $600 on cards.
Yeah.
And then,
Logan Paul.
once the tournament's over, then it's like, okay, well we'll sell these cards and now they're $20. So
Well, did you see that
it's
video I sent you of it was Post Malone
yeah.
and it's like
Yeah.
what's
Like
the
it's like
most
$600,000 or something like that.
$800,000 on a
Yeah.
Magic card? It's like, dude, come on now.
It's insane.
Granted,
It's
it was like
insane.
signed by somebody, so it's like, okay.
It was Black Lotus, and it was signed by I think the artist, which Black Lotus is broken and banned in everything except for like Legacy, which is the oldest form, and it's honestly the most boring because you can win in turn 2 or whatever. Anyway, stupid shit.
Anyway,
It's the
Pokemon.
most broken Magic. Yeah. Anyway, back to Pokemon. What else? What else we got?
You got nothing else to say about Pokemon? Okay.
Oh no, I've got the card game was. I like that they showed off the card game stuff.
Oh, okay.
We also got some Pokemon Go stuff.
Yeah. I also
There's
enjoyed the event. I thought it was cool. I just like how Pokemon is like, yeah, we're just doing everything. You know?
Yeah.
We're just doing we got card games, we got phone games, we got plushies, we
Mhm.
got some sort of weird sleep thing. And I like that they're supporting all of it. Pokemon Cafe Remix seems really cute. I don't really know what that is, but is it like Diner Dash? Is that what it is? I have no idea, but
no, it's not like Diner Dash.
I
It's
really
like
wish it was. But
it's like a match the colors with your finger sort
oh,
of thing.
okay. What I did
It's
really
real,
like about
real
that
lame.
was the guy who went in to eat was Mewtwo, and he was wearing a cute little hat, and I liked that.
Yeah.
It was adorable.
And you can get Mewtwo to join your employee roster,
Yeah.
and he wears like a little apron and a hat, and you can serve cafe goodies.
Is that
to
animal
other
abuse?
Pokemon. No,
No. We got like sheepdogs. They work. Like
they work.
German shepherds, they work.
Yeah.
For
And
the-
Mewtwo is literally sentient.
Is it the same Mewtwo? Because his demeanor's completely changed.
Oh yeah, it's the same Mewtwo. There's only one Mewtwo.
He went from being like the creator of the Pokemans to being like, hey, I'm just working at a cafe. Hey,
He wasn't the creator of the Pokemans. The humans created Mewtwo to
right.
make as a Pokemon, and he's like, I'm fucking sentient, and I'm gonna free all the Pokemans. And he murdered people,
Yeah.
and now he runs a cafe.
Yeah. Now he's like, oh, they love these Pokemon actually, but still make them battle.
Yeah.
When you think about
But also-
Pokemon too much, it really falls apart.
It falls apart. It falls flat so bad.
Yeah, new characters in Pokemon Unite. I really wish I liked that game, but it's like so broken.
I don't know. I've never played it. It looks really good, and I like how many
It's-
characters they're coming out with.
It's fun until you play it for a bit and you realize, oh, like if you pay for this character, you win. Like
Oh.
that's that's it. It's like League of Legends, but like if League of Legends had a character where it's like if you have this character, you win. You know?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So kind of lame.
Okay.
And Pokemon Go stuff, I can't believe they're still. It's unbelievable, but good for them.
Some people pay for it. Some people pay for it, still play it,
I never got
which
into it,
is
but you know,
it was fun. It was a fun little experiment, and then people kind of forgot about it.
apparently not.
Most people forgot about it. It's still going
You
around.
know, when we went to that Witcher panel, they convinced me to play the Witcher version of Pokemon
The
Go.
Witcher version of Pokemon Go. Yeah, I don't know.
But then the big news. The big news
Yep,
was
the one we're all waiting for.
they showed a trailer thing for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Yep.
How
And can I say I have figured out which one I'm buying based off of this trailer?
yeah, go for it.
It's definitely going to be Violet because so the trailer shows
Because
off
you like the
the
penis
legendary. I like the penis one. I'll say it again.
one.
The trailer shows off the legendaries, and you can ride the legendaries, and they have like wheels on their chest.
Mm-hmm.
The purple one or the penis one um, makes sense because like he puts his legs up, and then the wheels spin, and he goes, and when he's flying, he's got wings that come out, and the red one, the not penis one, has wheels on his chest, yet he runs like a fucking
Yeah.
heavy ass gazelle. And I'm like, that I hate that. That is awful.
Well, there are
That
images of him actually using the wheels too. So
all
so
right,
it seems
well,
like you're either like walking on him, and then if you like sprint, you're using the
you're on
wheels.
the wheels. I could see that. I like the penis one. I'm gonna get Violet.
Well, if you're getting
You
Violet, I'll
know?
get the red one, whatever that one's called,
Okay.
Scarlet. Um, but yeah, I plan on. You know what's interesting about it? It seems like these legendary, like you're getting these legendaries at the beginning of the game.
Early? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it feels like it.
which is kind of weird and interesting.
Yeah.
One thing I dislike about that, which they still haven't shown enough of this game, first of all, before I get into what I was going to say. They
Mhm.
haven't shown enough of this game for me to be like, how much of this is going to be like Arceus or not? You know, like, I still don't know.
Yeah.
Because I'm
It's
hoping.
definitely going to be open world though, and that
Yeah.
looks cool because they've showed off like, oh, here's like Pokestops, but it's literally just a place in the middle of nowhere, and you can stop and get your Pokemon,
And,
and you
and,
can go anywhere you want.
and they
And
said you
I
could
kind of
do
like that
any gym,
at
like,
any point.
yeah.
Yeah,
So it's like whatever you decide to do, which is cool. But yeah, I'm still wondering, like, is this what I want, or is this just gonna be more of like the last Pokemon game that we got, which
yeah,
is a little bit of my concern. The other thing I don't like, I think it's an interesting like cop out way to handle it. Like, hey, let's give them a legendary that does the flying and the water and the
right.
all this.
Mhm.
But like something I really liked about like, Blue or those older ones was like, no, that the Pokemon you chose the Pokemon. Like I'm swimming on my Gyarados and I'm flying
Mhm.
around with my Charizard.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
But then in this one you don't do that. And I understand why, because I don't want to have to like create all these different animations
right,
and stuff for that. But like
right.
I want that.
Yeah,
This
yeah. Let
this
me have it.
that's what I want. I want that.
Yeah.
It's
No.
it's like more immersive that way. And we will get that in 25 years. But like what I'm saying is we shouldn't have to wait 25 years for that. I'm saying we should be
Right.
getting that right now.
Right.
Feels like a cop
It
out.
it does. But, you know, we either do this or we get Pokemon sooner. And I'd like to get Pokemon sooner, you know?
We already got one this year though.
Yeah, but it wasn't real. It
It
was like
was though. That's
I
the
don't think
most
so.
hours I've put into a Pokemon game in years. Put like
Well,
40 hours into that game. I loved it.
I like the more standard approach to Pokemon with gyms and,
I
a
wish that
storyline.
that's what I'm saying. Like I wish it was Arceus but with gyms. Like that's what
Mm,
I want. I want it to be Arceus but with gyms. I loved the like filling out the things, but it did feel like you were missing out on gyms. So it's like let's do both things. Let's fill out
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Pokédex
Yeah, and
and
that would
have
be
gyms.
cool. And we don't know enough about this game. So far, there's multiplayer, you know?
Cool.
What did I just have like a stroke? No, yeah, so we don't know a whole bunch about the
It just
game. We
sounded
know
like you were saying something and then you just stopped.
I got a text message and I
So
misread it.
far, there's multiplayer.
There's multiplayer, we know that. There's gyms, we know that. There's also 3 different stories, and they haven't really gone into that. We haven't even seen the final evolved form of the starters. It's getting pretty close to Pokemon time, and we don't know a
Pokemon
whole
time,
lot of
baby.
stuff.
It is
So
Pokemon time, baby.
I'm reserving most of my feelings for this game um until we know more
Yeah, for
about it.
sure. I'm buying it. Pokemon lost me, dude. They lost me hardcore with Sword and Shield. Like
Really?
I played that game. I was like, I don't like this game. I didn't like it. I put like 5 hours in. I was like, I don't like this game. I don't like it at all. And like X and Y was like okay. I liked that one, and Omega
Yeah.
Ruby was like, I wish it was just more like regular Ruby than it was. Um, but yeah, then Sword and Shield came out. I'm like, it's just, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of this shit. But then Arceus came out. I'm like, oh shit, they did it. They made me like Pokemon again. So I'm excited for it. I'm gonna play this, but it better not be Sword and Shield again. I'll be mad.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the news. We got 2 pieces of news here. Uh, First piece of news comes from Push Square. Kale Adam. Beyond Good and Evil 2 just found its new lead writer. Beyond Good and Evil 2 has been a long time coming and is apparently still a long way off. At this point, it's kind of hard to believe this thing is ever coming out. We did get some movement today, though, with the reveal that the project has found a new lead writer. Sarah Arellano announced yesterday in a tweet that she will be joining the project as its lead writer. Arellano has worked previously as narrative designer for Blizzard on World of Warcraft and at Volition on Saints Row. Beyond Good and Evil 2 was teased all the way back in 2008 before going radio silent for almost a full decade before being re-revealed in 2017. The title will serve as a prequel to 2003's Beyond Good and Evil, which was eventually remastered for PS3 as Beyond Good and Evil HD in 2011. Are you still excited? Yeah, ignore that. Yeah. So, how does that?
Am I still excited for Beyond Good and Evil 2? I find it weird that Beyond Good and Evil 2 I find it weird that Beyond Good and Evil 2 is a prequel. Considering it's called Beyond Good and Evil 2. You know, that just kind of throws me off a little bit. They couldn't just be
Did
like
you ever
Beyond Good
play
and
the first
Evil
one?
the before time. I did. I played a little bit of the first one. I never beat it, but I played a good chunk of it. It's kind of cool. Honestly, it's kind of cool. I like the kind of world that they've built and set up. I can't believe it's been a decade since they fucking announced this game. You know?
Almost. Well, not really, but
No, it has been 2008.
well,
It's
yeah.
almost been 20 years.
But since the re-reveal, that's really where because I feel like the 2008 they canceled that version of this game.
Oh yeah. Oh,
That
they canceled the 2017 version of this game
so
too.
yeah, it's kind of strange because like the fact that they're getting a lead writer now, it's like,
It's
bruh,
been canceled. It's been
yeah,
canceled
they're
again, and
starting
now they
over.
have another. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So what happened is they had a thing, right? They had a story. The gameplay elements didn't match up with the story, so they're like, all right, well, we have all these assets and all of this code. We need a story that fits all of this stuff. And the guy's like, I don't want to make another one of these. And so they hired somebody else to make another one and write the story. So I have a feeling that this game is mostly assets and that it's just a big
Yeah.
old treasure chest of assets with nothing on the surface.
Yeah, because
Um,
I remember back in 2017 when they announced it, right? Around the time of E3, it was either that first year or the second year, like after they announced it. Might have been like
mhm.
they announced it one year and then the next year they were there just to like talk
Right.
about the game, and they had like
Right.
a setup that this was back during like the Jeff Keighley, Coliseum
The
stuff,
golden age. Yeah, the
Yeah.
golden age of E3.
Back when there used to be like panels all week during E3 and there were like different
Mhm.
things, and like the dudes that were working on Beyond Good and Evil, they brought like a very early build of Beyond Good and Evil 2 to this, and
Yep.
I loved what I saw. Like, it was super
Yeah.
early on. You're like, this is obviously not even close to done, but you
Yeah.
could see what they were making, and it was like,
Right.
this looks really fucking cool. Where
Mhm.
they were like the little monkey man like flying around with a jetpack, and they were like going into space and then coming back down, and it's like, this looks really cool. What a really cool proof of concept. Almost like had a Insomniac sort of feel to the gameplay, it seemed, and I loved that. And then they just disappeared.
Yep.
um
Yeah,
so
they were super transparent.
yeah.
And then they're like, "All right, well, they even had like I signed up for it too. They even had a like insider sort of like forum, I guess, where they would send like pictures, progress, pictures, videos, updates on what it was they were doing. They completely scrapped that after like a year of it.
Yeah,
And it's like, okay, well, yeah.
something went wrong. I don't think it was the gameplay side. It must have been the story side of it. And bringing in someone who worked on Saints Row, I never really played Beyond Good and Evil 1, but I've seen enough of Beyond Good and Evil to get the like vibes of it.
Mhm.
And bringing on someone who's like worked on Saints Row seems like a good call, because it has that kind of vibe,
It's kind of goofy.
where it's
Yeah.
like goofy, like almost mobster esque. So yeah, that kind of makes sense to me. But like, yeah, the fact that they're bringing in a new lead writer is a little worrying. Also, I also wonder, this is an Ubisoft game, and I wonder if Ubisoft is like, well, how do we? Because it seemed like when they were showing Beyond Good and Evil 2, they were like, we're just making a single player game. Like, this is just
Right. Mhm.
your standard Insomniac sort of game.
Well, other than like it seemed more like a better version of what Starfield looks like. You know?
Yeah, well, to me, no, because it seemed like a third person sort of shooter sort of thing.
Well, yeah, but
Third
then you
person
had
action
like
game.
you could go to different planets, you could build your own
Right.
starship,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
could have your own crew and your crew can die and then you can like it was very like
Yeah, it had those elements for sure.
it was very like we will do it all and I'm like no you won't because that's a lot of fucking thing. That's a lot of resources and it won't work on this generation. So
Yeah, maybe that was the issue too, where it's like we just needed to wait for the PS5 to come out. I don't know.
I think I think they overextended and they overpromised a whole bunch of stuff. But
But like, what I was gonna say was like, maybe Ubisoft was like, well, how do we make this more profitable? How do we make this like an online game? How do we add a marketplace? And then the people who were
yeah.
working on it were like, well, that's gonna fuck up everything. Things
Mhm.
started to fall apart. Like, that could all be part of it too. You
Yeah,
never
maybe
know.
maybe they are switching to like a service, a live service game, and the story just didn't make
Oh
sense.
man, that would
Like
be
they
such a
needed an
bummer.
open-ended story, and they're like, "Well, we're gonna continue this game forever and ever, but we need a story that doesn't have a definitive ending."
Because
You know?
this could easily be the game that like brings Ubisoft back into the good graces of the people.
Yeah.
And but if they, and I think they know that too, and they're like, we can't fuck this up. But like, bruh, it's almost been 2 decades,
Yeah.
since you announced it originally. Like, that's
And
crazy.
I guarantee you, like half of the team is not the same team.
Right. And next year it would have been 2 decades since the
Mhm.
first one came out. So, it's wild. It's wild stuff.
It is wild. It is wild.
We'll see what happens. Last piece of news here, Nick. This
Let's
comes
do it.
from
Wrap it up.
Morgan Shaver at Shack News. Sony says Call of Duty is an essential game, and Microsoft disagrees. Uh, Microsoft is actively in the process of acquiring Activision Blizzard, and with that acquisition comes questions regarding things like exclusivity and what Microsoft plans to do with popular franchises like Call of Duty. According to a response from Sony in regards to questions from Brazil's regulatory body, as reported by Reset Era and translated by VGC, it suggests that Call of Duty influences users' console choice and that it's an essential AAA game that has no rival. According to a 2019 study, the importance of Call of Duty to entertainment in general is indescribable. The brand was the only video game IP to break into the top 10 of all entertainment brands among fans, joining powerhouses such as Star Wars, Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, and Lord of the Rings, Sony pointed out. Call of Duty is so popular that it influences users' choice of consoles, and its community of loyal users is entrenched enough that even if a competitor had the budget to develop a similar product, it would not be able to rival it. The company goes on to point out that each Call of Duty release takes around 3 to 5 years to develop, and as Activision releases one Call of Duty game per year, quote, this equates to an annual investment of hundreds of millions of dollars. Furthermore, Sony posits that no other developer can really match the sheer level of resources and expertise that goes into developing Call of Duty titles. Quote, no other developer can devote the same level of resources and expertise into game development. Even if they could do that, Call of Duty is overly entrenched so that no rival, no matter how relevant they are, can catch up. While Sony makes a compelling case, Microsoft sees the thing a little differently. In a response sourced from report from the New Zealand Commerce Commission in June, Microsoft claims there is, quote, nothing unique about the video games developed and published by Activision, and that none of the games, including Call of Duty, are must-have games for any rival competitor, for example, Sony.
Damn, throwing shade. Shade
Holy at themselves.
Shit. Oh, well, Microsoft claims there's nothing unique about the video games developed and published by Activision. Bam! Fuck you, Activision!
Well, it's a misdirect, though, I think. Like, of course they would say that because they want to acquire Activision. So if they say, like, no, it's fine, anyone can make this, that's what they're going for. It's like, anyone can make this. Because what Sony is saying, like, if Microsoft buys Activision, they have just acquired something that no one else can do. Like,
you're right. It could be like a monopolization sort of situation where Sony's like, hey, this is a monopoly. And they're like, no.
I think that's the point Sony is making. They're like, no one can compete with Call of Duty. So Microsoft buying Call of Duty
wins this one,
will destroy us. Like, that will kill us. Like, Call of Duty is a reason people choose consoles. I don't disagree.
I don't agree that it will kill Sony because they have other things, And I don't even think that Xbox, as long as Phil Spencer is our man, as long as he stays our man and does what gamers want him to do, I don't think they'll make it console exclusive. Granted, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, when Phil Spencer leaves and, Moneybags McGee from EA comes over and takes his place, who knows? But for right now, I think Activision is in a good spot, and I think maybe not Activision as a whole, but like the Activision Microsoft acquisition is in a good spot. But it is a little concerning. But also, we've seen the numbers. We do the numbers every month, and Call of Duty has dropped significantly. Granted, Modern Warfare 2 is going to be a fucking bomb.
Yeah,
because people love Modern Warfare 1. Even the old ones.
It's the first game in like 15 years that is the best-selling game, and even then it was still like the best-selling game last year, So it's not selling as well as like the other ones, but it's still like, if you look at last year's numbers, I think it was still the number one game of last year.
Oh yeah.
So like, I don't disagree with Sony at all, because Yeah, I mean, we got Big Phil Spencer, who's like, "Oh yeah, Call of Duty will remain on."
Games are for everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of like his whole thing.
it'll remain on Sony. Like, we don't have any intentions to take it off Sony. But then Phil Spencer dies or steps down,
Mhm.
and then what? Or Phil
Yeah,
Spencer has a change of heart, or he
yeah.
claims that, oh, I Sony chose not to do this, and then Sony's over there like, no, we didn't. You
You
know,
know, I think there should be some sort of clause that's like, hey, you can acquire Activision, but you have to make sure Call of Duty, hi Shawnee, Call of Duty, stays on every console. You know, I think if they were gonna do like a monopolizing thing, it's like, yeah, you can have Activision, but also it's got to be on every console.
yeah, but that's a dicey piece of legislation. That's
Yeah, I
that
mean,
gets
it's
a little weird. Because yeah, I don't know. It's yeah, it's troubling. It makes me think of like uh Disney, right? Like with Disney, we all thought like Bob Iger. Everyone loved Bob Iger. He was great. He took Marvel and made Marvel what it is. They're like, oh, we don't like this fucking Ike Perlmutter guy. Oh, let's just let Kevin Feige be in charge of it. That was all Bob Iger.
right.
California Adventure is dying. Bob Iger fixed it. Like he did it. Now Bob Iger stepped down and a new guy took over, Bob Chapek. People fucking hate Bob Chapek. He's doing all sorts of weird stuff. He fucked up with what's her butt, Scarlett Johansson. He brought the genie pass in or whatever, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And like
He's ruining California Adventure with like 3D fucking
yeah.
sitting rides
The
that aren't fun.
Marvel Land is his
Marvel
first
Land.
thing.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
horrible. It's really bad. Marvel Land sucks ass.
Yeah, and that's going to happen. That's inevitably going to happen with Phil Spencer. I mean, we could hope that one day that won't be the case, like it'll be some
Right.
other guy. It'll be
Well,
great.
yeah.
But like it's not going to happen. It's going to be some fucking weirdo who doesn't understand what's going on, and we won't have Phil Spencer forever.
Yeah.
And Sony's
That'll be
not.
a sad fucking day once Phil Spencer either goes, like retires or dies.
Yeah, that'll
You
be
know?
even sadder than Reggie Fils-Aimé.
It would be. I
Yeah,
genuinely, yeah. Because Reggie, I mean, as much as he was like an icon,
he was more of a meme than anything.
yeah, what has he done for Nintendo as far as like bringing the communities together? I don't know. Memeing.
Yeah, he did the Wii U.
Yeah,
He
I
did
don't
do the
know.
Switch though. So I mean,
But like, I mean, and what games are cross-platform? You know, how has he helped the community of like,
well, and
oh yeah, you can keep doing your fighting games and you can keep
he
doing
wasn't
this.
even like the head guy. He was the head guy of America. He wasn't even like the
Right.
guy,
That is true. That
Where
is
like
true.
Big Phil is like the head guy, although
The head
he's not
guy.
even really because he's underneath the guys at Microsoft. But
Microsoft. He's the head of Xbox, which is,
yeah, but
I assume he has a lot of power at Xbox. You know,
yeah, oh
Microsoft
yeah,
just kind of like, you do
yeah,
your thing. You're doing good. People seem to like you.
yeah, oh
You
yeah.
know,
They don't care. They don't care at all.
as long as he's making the money, I
Uh,
can't imagine.
but Sony is not wrong to like go back to that point. Like
Yeah,
there's no competitor to Call of Duty. There just isn't.
no, no.
Battlefield tried. They're not.
You know what would be Titanfall?
Titanfall tried. It didn't happen.
It
Um,
would be though. It would be if EA get their head out of their ass. Titanfall would be a great competitor for
yeah,
it because they
maybe.
got it right.
I mean, maybe you could argue like things like Apex are competitors to Call of Duty now, but they have their own version of that that's fucking killing the
Hmm.
game as well. Um, yeah, there's just no competing against Call of Duty at least right now. Like if we keep getting the blunders of like Vanguard and like if that happened again this year and next year, I think if that happened 5 years in a row, maybe we'd have a different conversation, but it's not going to. And
Yeah,
yeah, Sony's right to point this stuff out. Microsoft is trying to misdirect, like by
for
saying no,
sure. I
oh yeah,
agree.
everyone
I
can.
agree.
Yeah,
But it is too soon to call.
yeah. To me, I think it doesn't matter. They're gonna acquire them. Although
Yeah.
it does
Because this is America,
It is worth
and we
mentioning,
love
though.
capitalism.
It is worth mentioning they haven't acquired them yet, and they've been going through this for a long time
Mm-hmm.
now. It seems like almost a year or something. Well,
It's like 6 months, I think.
Sony announced Bungie, and they already have acquired Bungie, like after
Yeah,
all of that. So
yeah.
there's definitely a lot
And
more
that's
eyes on this
see,
one than the
that's a
Bungie.
pretty good comparison though. Like Call of Duty is very close to Destiny in terms of like popularity and money and gameplay style.
It's not even close.
All right, fine.
I don't even think it's close, dude.
Okay.
I think the only thing that could maybe be close to Call of Duty as far as like sales numbers is Grand Theft Auto and Minecraft.
Oh yeah. Well, Grand Theft Auto is gonna sell like fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
But like I'm sure Sony is freaking out because most gamers only play Call of Duty and then will like
Yeah.
pick up Stray, you know,
Yeah.
like randomly.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like
Call of Duty is just that game that everybody goes to because it's a
yeah.
household name at
And
this
if there
point. It's
wasn't Call
like
of Duty, they wouldn't own a console, you know.
Kirby vacuums. Everybody's got a Kirby vacuum, in the 80s.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Totally.
don't know.
Anyway, yeah, we'll see what happens. I just thought it was interesting. I
That
also
is
think it's
very
interesting. The only people that are really holding this back is Brazil, which God bless them for that. Uh,
yeah.
recent reviews via OpenCritic. 2 Point Campus got an 85 from 56 critic reviews. God bless.
It's not even out yet.
I'm excited for this game, dude.
I know you are.
I plan on playing this game this weekend. So
I think this is in my critic thing.
your fantasy critic, yeah,
My
pull that up.
fantasy critic. Yeah.
Pull up the fantasy critic. Pull up the results. Look this up. Fantasy critic. Who's winning right now?
We don't have to do it now.
Oh, we got to do it now.
Okay, we're doing it now.
We're pulling it up. Year of the Duck. 2 Point Campus. Bonercast, which is you.
That's me.
2 Point Campus. Yeah, man. You haven't gotten the points yet though, because it hasn't come out. I feel like it'll go up in score too.
I feel like it could be.
Yeah, that's wild. Anyway, next week in games, Splatoon 3 Direct is happening next week, August 8th. I imagine it's going to be just a total breakdown of like, here's the games, here's the guns.
It'll have like customization. It'll have the basic story.
What the hub world looks like.
Probably even a full match, honestly.
Well, because here's the interesting thing.
Doing a full match.
They released in a tweet that it's going to be 30 minutes long. So that's kind of a long time.
Wow, yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be a full breakdown. They'll probably even go into like the single player and stuff. Yeah. Some salmon run. I'm excited for Splatoon 3. I fucking love Splatoon. I love it. Also this week.
It's great. I can't wait.
Also this week, 2 Point Campus comes out on everything, including the Switch. Wow. On August 9th. Lost in Play comes to the Switch and PC August 10th. Cult of the Lamb comes to everything on August 11th.
Yeah.
Rumbleverse.
I'm excited for that one.
Yep. Rumbleverse comes to everything except for the Switch on August 11th. And Marvel's Spider-Man comes to PC August 12th.
Nice.
Very cool. Very cool.
Another bump in sales for Sony.
Yeah, dude. So Sony knows. They're like, well, if we can't sell these consoles because everyone's going to PC for fucking Call of Duty, we'll just put our games on PC too.
We have people who want to play these games early. You have to buy a PlayStation, and then eventually we'll get PC, and people who are on PC will also keep it alive. It's fucking smart.
I think
it's so good.
Yeah, I think it's even smarter than what Xbox did, where it's like instead of day and date on both, it's like no, we'll double dip.
Yeah.
I think they're selling Spider-Man at full price. So
just fucking keep that roller coaster. Just fucking sell. Just sell. Fucking sell. That's what they're doing with Last of Us.
Oh yeah.
It's like, Last of Us 1 is selling out. Let's do an HD remake. Last of Us 2. Last of Us, it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
So
God
there we
bless.
go. Sony knows what they're doing.
Yeah. I hope they don't get eaten by Xbox, dude. Does it scares me.
They're not going. They're not going to.
Mm,
No way.
we'll see.
No
Um
way.
other check out our other Loner Cast shows. We do a spoiler cast usually on Mondays. We had a busy week this week with the GameOn Expo and stuff, so we're not doing a spoiler cast today, but you can definitely go check out our other ones. Um and I just did a 2-hour video with our friend Jordan Blaine of New Comga. Um so go check that out. We just talked about all the Warner Brothers bullshit that's been going on. We both had some pretty interesting takes. We also went on like a 30-minute tangent about the Fox X-Men universe for some reason, but it was fun. Uh, check us out on Twitter. Get updates from the show at LonerCast1. Check me out on Twitter at emergencypizza_, and check Nick out fatal_microwave. And check out the show, twitch.tv/LonerCast. You can also find our show on podcast services by looking up Last Week in Games. And you can find our other shows by looking up Lonercast on podcast services. So, yeah, word to your
Yeah.
mother.
Word to your friend.